Hello and welcome to today's episode of Sikka to Swipe. I'm your host Noina Banerjee and I'm excited to have a truly insightful guest with us, Mr. Sekhar Rao, Executive Director at Karnataka Bank. Mr. Rao brings a rich career spanning retail banking, digital transformation, operation and strategy. He has been a key force in helping Karnataka Bank evolve to today's fast-changing financial landscape, blending innovation with the values of legacy institution. Today, we will explore his view on the future of payments, how bank can stay relevant in a fintech-driven world, and what it takes to build a truly future-ready financial institution. Mr. Rao, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this podcast. Pleasure being here.
So I want to know, you have led teams through some big industry shifts, right? What is the biggest mindset change have you seen that how bank today approach digital?
In technology and digital, things are changing by the day, particularly in spaces like artificial intelligence and that enabling digital transformation. Just rewinding a bit in the history of banking, for people my age, they would be familiar with the conventional banking where we had ledgers, etc. Then came in technology where branch transformation happened. Then the bank-wide transformation happened and you could practically open an account with a bank and transact at any of their branches. Then they added the layer of internet, mobile, so on and so forth. So you could transact sitting in your home. So this was the journey that happened, and technology kind of became a horizontal, impacting every area of banking, customer experience, the way customers would transact, risk management, compliance, data to get better insights in the customer behavior. And even today, there is this confusion between what is digital. A lot of people say that as a bank I have become digital, and I would argue that they have automated a lot of stuff, become paperless. Truly digital is something different, and here again digital will become like technology, all pervasive. It will become a horizontal where digital becomes the infrastructure layer enabling this automation, etc. And then you have the layer of acquiring customers digitally, engaging with them digitally, and servicing with them digitally. And also using things like artificial intelligence, NLP, so on and so forth, to understand and communicate better.
And when we're talking about this evolution, where do you think that bank and fintech can partner, and where do you think that how these collaborations are working? Are they succeeding, or you see typically there's a shortfall?
So banks always, we are heavily regulated, and even by regulation we think that there is a limitation to innovation, how much we can what is the rate of interest, can we price for risk, so on and so forth. While I say NBFC thinks, how do I first solve a problem and reach out to the customer and then give it as a package at a meaningful price. So my thought process starts with the rate of interest largely, and the regulation to some extent, while as a NBFC's thought process or a fintech's thought process is innovation and solving a problem. This is the leap that many banks have taken. There are a lot of banks, and we also are, as Karnataka Bank, are trying to take this step of first solving a problem and then looking at various options of delivery in terms of pricing, distribution, etc. In this space, partnerships are here to stay. So banks will give the necessary credibility. Fintechs and fintech NBFCs will play the role of being innovators. At some point of time, you'll see a toggle also happening from banks to this innovation space, and all the participants will eventually learn to coexist meaningfully. And this is already happening. You will see.
So you're thinking this to be a collaborative space, not a competing space?
Yes, and both entities will learn from each other. Banks have a lot to offer in terms of risk management, compliance,
Correct.
conventional distribution, stability, organization, and so on and so forth. Fintechs and fintech NBFCs have a lot to offer in cutting edge technology, innovation, and access to the relevant manpower in this space. So there will be learnings from both sides.
At that note, like as you said, that both have different things to play. And obviously, innovation, when you talk about innovation, it is more about fintech and maybe a little less on banking sector today. So if I ask you to bet on one underused or overlooked innovation in banking industry today, what that would be?
See, one underused innovation, I would say, which was slightly ahead of time, is something called as the Account Aggregator framework. This came into space almost, I think so, if I'm right, 4 or 5 years back. And a lot of models, including lending, investments, and wealth management, were built on that. But somehow it's not kind of taken off the way it should be. But it's a brilliant concept where there is access to information about a customer based on which you can offer specific solutions. One very high level thought is probably because there is still some element of friction in the way the account aggregator operates. The entire onboarding, consent, renewal of consent on an annual basis. If we can think through this and also increase the number of participants, this is one under leveraged space which can dramatically alter a lot of lending, wealth management, and many other things related to banking.
Do you think that account aggregator is also an answer to customer behavior that banks often underestimate or overlook? Like we don't really see that traditional banking puts a lot of effort in understanding customer behavior. So
of course, conventional lending had three pillars based on which you would lend to a customer: ability to pay, intent to pay, and if there was a security available in case the loan goes bad. The ability to pay and intent to pay to some extent has been cracked by the bureau reports, but you have a very large population who is new to credit but not new to banking. Many of them have taken baby steps towards investments. Many of them also have bank accounts, and hence there is a lot of other information available which can be accessed through various. At Account Aggregator is one such source of information. And what are their bank balances? Have they invested somewhere else? Do they have an insurance policy? Tomorrow in the Account Aggregator, I think so in Europe, in some countries, even the mobile networks have participated in the Account Aggregator, similar to Account Aggregator framework, where you get access to how a customer kind of treats his are they on prepaid, postpaid? Does he pay his postpaid bills regularly? What is his usage patterns, so on and so forth? And this then expands the horizon.
Financial inclusion remains a big opportunity in India, right? India government is doing so much, and there's so many schemes coming in. So where do you think bank and what bank are already playing some roles in that? But what are the major things that a bank could do to make financial inclusion more stronger, especially in rural or semi-urban areas?
Financial inclusion has happened at a basic level, and that has happened through Jan Dhan. That is giving everyone, a lot of people, a bank account. And significant part of the country now at least has a bank account, which in itself is a big deal. Right. Then next, that then gives them a kind of access and efficiency around direct benefit transfer, payment for things like Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, all of which can happen through the system. The porosity, the leakages then get eliminated because it goes directly to the beneficiary, the payment, etc. Even a lot of these gig workers, migrant workers, they get their money through their bank account, their ability to transfer money back to their families, etc. has happened. But what has not happened is the next level of financial inclusion, ability to leverage some of these for access to credit, uh, for maybe giving them basic investment solutions, uh, and taking them, elevating them to, or protection, insurance, elevating them to the next level. So this is where probably banks can, or banks in partnership with fintechs can play a major role on building innovative solutions, because even with 500 branches in Karnataka, we have a limitation to as to how many people can I reach
Right.
physically, and how effectively can I communicate. So using this branch as a nodal point, leverage technology, partner with fintechs, and look at opportunities where we can expand the bouquet of financial inclusion services.
Uh, which brings me to another question, which is slightly different from what we were talking about. So, today's young generation, they expect more from digital channels. I mean, to win their loyalty, you have to have a different kind of banking. So, traditional bank like yours or other banks, what do you think that they should do to be able to win loyalty of this young generation, the young adults of the country?
So that's a very difficult kind of. Most of the generation that you're talking about are digital natives. But banking, unless you reach a particular life stage, is a low priority or low involvement product.
Right.
If you expect a 18-year-old, 20-year-old, or even a 24, 25-year-old to daily log into a banking app and do something around banking, unlikely. So the innovation needs to happen as to how kind of what you are presenting them via a banking app becomes meaningful and relevant at a more frequent basis for things that they want and do. So where they shop, where they live, persona creation, and there also again collaboration between entities. You give somebody like a Uber access to your customer base, and but still that's something debatable, whether would somebody still log into a bank app and book a Uber cab. But if you are able to kind of still aggregate and make it a little exciting and occupy a space in what they frequently do think about, then you kind of get their mind share, and then it leads them to banking. Because from banking, getting them to various spaces is a difficult task.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They just need convenience and somewhere to make sure that they can pay and an easy interaction. So I'm sure. But
Yeah.
do you see a lot of innovations coming in that space?
Yes, innovation in also is now happening in the digital space, open wide spaces where uh, conventional banks find it difficult, and by partnering with fintechs, you can occupy those spaces and make a huge difference. And this is particularly in the MSME space, micro SMEs space, where and that too in the unsecured, emerging models to underwrite, how to price it rightly,
Right.
and how to collect digitally, what other value added services that it will give. So there will be interesting models that emerge.
I want one piece of advice you would give to young professionals eager to help shape the future of banking.
Young professionals, yes, you must be you come with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, which is unparalleled, and that itself is a great asset. You understand technology better, but operate within the framework of regulation, risk management. Be free to collaborate. There are a set of value systems that is essential, because At the end of the day, banking is all about trust, and that is the cornerstone that you should never compromise on. So hence, risk management, compliance also becomes essential. So whatever you do, keep this in your mind. Continue to innovate. Collaborate with existing institutions. They've been around for a while, and that will give you great strengths. Yes, banks will be slow to move because they have large structures and they operate in a particular manner, but that will give you great strength as well and credibility.
Mr. Rao, thank you so much for such a thoughtful and insightful conversation. Your insights on the evolving roles of bank and the cooperation and the collaboration with Fintech given us a lot to reflect on. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and join us next time for more conversation with leaders shaping the future of payments. Until then, stay curious, stay exploring.
Thank you, Naina.